Good morning to all you red shirts, all 94 of you that are out there this morning. Thank you very much for being here. Welcome to the 345th consecutive Friday morning of the East Valley Red Friday Patriots. Woo! I guess Dick put this in there for me. My name is Jim Kenyon. I think that's what it says on here, so I want to make sure. And we're very glad to have you join us to demonstrate our support for our U.S. service members deployed around the world. You know, most of us are aware that Dick Nations has quite a few parachute jumps underneath his belt. The other day, Dick and I went to breakfast, and not being familiar with parachuting, although he did give me a whole parachute outfit when we were down at the IHOP, not being familiar with that, I was asking him about his skydiving experiences. So I said to Dick, Dick, if you're going to make a parachute jump, just how high should you be? Well, you know, the sergeant major stood right there, them command sergeant major eyes staring me right in the place, and he says, young man, 3 days of steady drinking ought to do it. So when I asked him to tell me about one of his most memorable skydiving events, Dick relayed a story about his skydiving team being booked to perform, you're not going to believe this, but being booked to perform at a nudist colony. And guess where the nudist colony is? In Central Texas. You see, July 14th is National Nude Day in America. It's a day for nudists to promote their lifestyles about enjoying clothing option activities, whatever that may be or whatever that means. Well, once the event was booked, the captain of the parachute team turned to the team members and said, guys, keep in mind, there are 3 things that are considered bad taste to talk about when you're visiting a nudist camp. He says one of those is politics. The second one is religion. He said, can anyone guess what the third one is? Without hesitation, Dick jumped up and he said, how about tape measures? Hey, I just do them, I didn't write them, okay? Would everybody please stand and join me in pledge allegiance to our glorious flag and to our great nation? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much.
It is
Hello.
Listening. Okay. Who do we have?
We have some special guests here today. First, Jeff Loga. Jeff, could you stand up, please?
Come over here, sir.
Normally we have you sing the national anthem, but we're going to dispose of that today.
Okay.
Okay? I think you're probably glad about that, right? Okay, and you were in the Navy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. From 1966 to 1972?
Correct.
Okay, that's great. And what did you do in the Navy, Jeff?
I was electronic technician. I repaired all your radios and radars and all that stuff. So.
Well, that sounds good. Very good. And you're here as a guest of someone, or you just...
Dennis, Bruce. I don't know. There's a lot of people have I don't know last names, you know.
Okay. Well, Jeff, we're so glad to have you with us here today, and we hope that you return and join us, see us again, too. Okay? Thank you very much. And then with Jeff is Eric Sorensen.
Yes. Jeff is my cousin, and he doesn't have memory issues that I know of. But we're here at the invitation of Bruce and Judy Woods.
All right, great. Thank you so much. And Eric, you were in the Army?
I was in the Army 1970 to 72.
All right. Thank you. And what were you doing in the Army?
Watch yourselves. I was a military police.
Oh, well, we got a few of those in here, so be careful. Be careful. Well, Eric, we're glad that you're with us today, and we hope that you'll come back and join us again. Okay?
I just want you to know that I'm a retired music teacher.
Okay.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you so much, Eric. Thank you.
As a retired choir director, I want you to know that 90% of you passed the audition for the Legion Choir that I'm putting together.
All right. Okay, and then we have Brad Jepson. Brad, could you stand up, please?
Yes.
And Brad, you're
Hello.
here. Hi, how are you?
Doing
We're glad to
good.
have you, and we understand you're a patriot here. Are you a guest with someone, or?
I'm a guest of John Mogensen.
All right, thank you, John. Thank you very much. And can you tell us a little bit about yourself, or?
I'm just down here visiting, getting away from the 6 feet of snow from home. Thought I'd come down and take a break for a while.
All right, well, that's good. We're glad to have you here this morning.
Thanks.
Please, I hope you enjoy everything, and I hope you come back again.
I will.
Thank you so much.
I'm curious what state he's from.
Washington.
Well, see?
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Can I get a big hoo-ah for all of our guests here this morning? Thank you. Thank you very much. I am pleased to introduce today's speaker, a gentleman who has been active with the Red Friday program for quite some time and has previously addressed our group. Colonel Ted Konfederak, U.S. Army retired, is a graduate of both the Army Basic Airborne School and Ranger School, and completed tours in both Germany and Vietnam. His major military assignments included Battalion Commander, Chief of Counter-Drug Division Headquarters, the 6th U.S. Army, Branch Chief, Future Force Interrogation, Headquarters Department of the Army, and Chief of Future Force Interrogated, Army National Guard Bureau. The colonel served our country for 30 years, retiring from the Army in 1998. He earned a Master of Arts degree in Political Science from the University of Illinois of Chicago, where he also began postgraduate study in public policy analysis. Following retirement from the armed forces, Ted moved to Arizona. He taught high school ROTC, JROTC, at both Trevor Brown and Highland High Schools before retiring a second time in June of 2013. He has served as a volunteer at the Arizona Railway Museum in Chandler and as the vice president of the territorial chapter of the Association of the U.S. Army, and he also is active with the Military Officers Association of America. He is here to highlight the rapid advance of artificial intelligence and its applications for the armed forces. Please welcome Ted Konfederak, U.S. Army, retired.
Can you all hear me? All right, well, good morning. Before I begin, I wish to acknowledge that in developing this presentation, I liberally borrowed from a work authored by David Karanchenko. He is an associate research fellow at the Henry Jackson Society, which is a London-based think tank. His work on warfare has been featured in the Atlantic Council, Center for European Policy Analysis, and the Modern Warfare Institute. The views expressed in this presentation are those of Mr. Karachenko and myself, and do not necessarily reflect those of the U.S. Army War College, the U.S. Army, or the Department of War. The rapid advancement of artificial intelligence is transforming industries at an unprecedented pace, and the business of warfare is no exception. AI-enabled weapons are reshaping modern warfare with significant implications for strategic planning, battlefield operations, and the ethical employment of military force. Nations are racing to integrate AI into military operations, with Ukraine and Russia at the forefront of developing autonomous systems for battlefield advantage. But as they integrate AI into combat, one crucial question remains: how much should we rely on it, and at what cost? This concern is not just theoretical, but rather the Oppenheimer moment of our generation. Just as nuclear weapons redefined warfare in the 20th century, AI-enabled weapons are now reshaping battlefield, potentially leading us into uncontrollable AI-driven arms races. Autonomous drones and logarithm-driven targeting systems threaten to make mass killing a mechanized, near-effortless process. Ukraine is already locked in an AI-driven drone race against Russia, with both sides leveraging autonomous technologies on the battlefield. Faced with Russia's numerical superiority, Ukraine turned to drones early in the war, forcing Moscow to follow suit. In the Russia-Ukraine war, drones now count for roughly 70 to 80% of battlefield casualties. Many of Ukraine's drones rely on commercial components and open source software, enabling low-cost attrition warfare. The contest between electronic warfare capabilities and drone operators led both sides to innovations, such as the adoption of fiber optic cables to bypass jamming, but countermeasures to disrupt that adaptation are already in development. Now the next phase of drone warfare is taking shape. AI-powered targeting systems allow drones to identify and strike targets with minimal human intervention, even in heavily jammed environments. This is now a fight for drone supremacy, with both Ukraine and Russia seeking technological breakthroughs whenever possible. In this environment, AI-enabled drones will evolve, potentially turning warfare into a battle of algorithms. Civilian innovation is also playing a key role. Volunteer groups such as Victory Drones are working to integrate AI into drone platforms, reducing the cost of last-minute targeting. AI-based targeting can now be added to drones for as little as $25. As these models evolve through battlefield use, they are becoming increasingly precise. However, AI targeting systems only succeed when tested and trained with real-world end users in combat. Build your own drone kits flooded the front in 2024, but quickly failed in the field, highlighting that without training, even good targeting technology is useless. The AI arms race isn't confined to the skies. Ukraine recently conducted a large-scale testing of over 70 domestically developed unmanned ground vehicles, UGVs. The trials assessed the UGV's technological reliability, battlefield readiness, and ability to perform under extreme conditions, including electronic warfare at long distances from their controller. Most systems exceeded expectations, with several already in use by elite Ukrainian military units. Ukraine's drive for technological self-sufficiency has never been more urgent, as Kiev wishes to deploy a 15-kilometer unmanned kill zone along the front, with ambitions to extend it to 40 kilometers. The initiative, part of Defense Ministry's Drone Line project, aims to render movement impossible for Russian forces without detection by tightly integrated aerial reconnaissance, with ground-based operations coordinating drone swarms executing missions autonomously. The result is a new kind of no man's land, one increasingly saturated with semi-autonomous drones programmed to seek and destroy anything that moves. Ukraine has no choice but to fight this war, and in doing so is shaping an entirely new battlefield. Training models that will feed autonomous systems require extensive battlefield data, of which both Ukraine and Russia have plenty. From this, the model is trained on combat tactics, spotting targets, and assessing the effectiveness of weapon systems. Yet according to some, even with increasingly powerful data sets, human judgment still matters. Danielo Kasper, a drone pilot with Ukraine's 108th Territorial Defense Brigade, insists that humans must remain involved in drone operations, especially in life-or-death situations. He believes AI-guided systems can assist with targeting, but only after a human identifies the threat. Similarly, Vasil Waskas of the 128th Mountain Assault Brigade warns against fully autonomous targeting, arguing that a logarithm shouldn't be trusted with human lives. AI is already making its presence felt on the battlefield. In fact, AI integration has already boosted Ukraine's first-person view, FPV, drone strike accuracy from a range of 30 to 50% to nearly 80%. A first-person view drone provides an immersive cockpit-like flight experience by streaming live video from its camera to goggles or a monitor, allowing pilots to fly as if they were on board the drone. This is signaling a growing role for machine intelligence on the battlefield. With the groundwork laid, AI's role in warfare will evolve even further. One Russian military blogger writing on Telegram warned that AI will eliminate traditional forms of warfare, making camouflage, deception, and electronic countermeasures nearly impossible. Dan Skinner, a former Royal Australian Infantry Corps officer, argued that the future battlefield will be greatly influenced by the ability to manage one's visual signature, warning that without effective multispectral concealment, forces will be instantly detected, targeted, and destroyed by AR-driven sensor systems. The future of modern warfare may hinge on which side can establish a superior hive mind, a network of machines working together seamlessly and adapting to battlefield conditions faster than any human operator can manage. Some suggest that doesn't necessarily mean human involvement is coming to an end. As the battlefield shifts toward autonomous systems, human-driven logistics and maintenance will remain indispensable, as even the best machines are not yet self-sufficient. On the Russian Contingency podcast, Michael Kaufman pointed out that deploying autonomous systems presents real-world challenges. What happens when these machines malfunction or break down? Even the most advanced drones and robots still require humans to repair, maintain, and redeploy them. While AI and automation may revolutionize frontline capabilities, the logistical backbone managed by human hands will remain essential to sustaining battlefield operations. In essence, humans will continue to remain in control of battlefield decisions and how wars will be fought. AI will be a tool to increase the lethality of those operations. Some experts argue that AI could help reduce intended casualties in war, particularly in urban settings, while others warn that it may act with ruthless precision to use faulty data to target civilians. It is yet to be seen which side is right, but what is indisputable is that AI will play a role in how military operations are conducted, and thus will have to deal with civilians on the battlefield. Another challenge is the risk of over-reliance on technology. Tristan Wheat, Chief Geopolitical Officer at Insight Forward and an adjunct professor at Georgetown University, pointed to historical examples where militaries prioritized technological dominance, only to be outmaneuvered by low-tech countermeasures. For instance, Wheat pointed to the War on Terror, where the United States led in signals intelligence, so Al-Qaeda adopted by using paper communications and couriers to avoid detection. Similarly, in the Second Lebanon War, Hezbollah employed fire blankets to conceal missile launch sites, preventing Israeli airstrikes from effectively targeting them. While AI and autonomous weapons will undoubtedly enhance battlefield lethality, Wheat noted, leaders should never forget that imagination and low-tech solutions can undermine this advantage. However, the ethical debate of AI in warfare is not limited to theoretical risks. Poloshenko, assistant professor at the U.S. Army War College, highlights Israelis' use of the AI-driven targeting system in Gaza as a real-world example of how AI is shaping battlefield decisions. Machine learning algorithms trained on military data can predict enemy positions, analyze targets, and optimize strikes. However, Lyshenko warned that integrating AI into lethal operations raises serious ethical questions, especially with autonomous weapons. Israelis' use of the AI system Lavender reportedly identified up to 37,000 potential Hamas-linked targets, accelerating airstrikes, but also contributing to significant civilian casualties. Lyshenko has also addressed the concept of monitor warfare, in which AI could assume greater control over combat operations, directing ground patrols, aerial dogfights, and naval engagements. He argues that this shift would require radical changes to military structure, including redefining command and control, creating new career fields, and reconsidering centralized versus decentralized operations. I will add something that I don't have in this presentation because I've been following this stuff, reading after preparing anything. That is already happening. The Army already has a career field. The Navy has a career field. This thing is growing by leaps and bounds. This approach envisions AI as the central brain of military operations, analyzing battlefield data in real time and issuing commands to both human and autonomous units with greater speed and precision than traditional methods. The term Minotaur suggests a hybrid model where AI and human forces work together, balancing automation with human oversight to improve military effectiveness. As AI integration in warfare continues to accelerate, the central question remains: how much decision-making should be entrusted to machines, and at what cost? Not every AI model will be trained for every battlefield scenario, and AI will have its limitations. Ironically, the side that becomes overly dependent on AI-driven warfare may expose itself to new vulnerabilities, ones that its adversary will inevitably learn to exploit. AI is no longer a distant prospect on the battlefield. It is here, and it is evolving in real time. Last-minute targeting to strategic decision-making, from last-minute targeting to strategic decision-making, AI is already reshaping the tempo and tools of war. The battlefield in Ukraine only accelerated this adaptation, and a future conflict in Taiwan will only increase the pace. The race is on to build coordinated swarms of autonomous systems to roam the skies, dominate the seas, and overwhelm the enemy with force. However, as the world races to build and deploy autonomous systems on the battlefield, we risk entering an Oppenheimer moment, one where we cross a line never crossed before, granting machines the power to decide who lives and who dies. Once we get there, there's no going back. As I researched this presentation, I found myself thinking about an episode of the original Star Trek television series, specifically Season 1, Episode 23, entitled A Taste of Armageddon. In that episode, set in Stardate 3192.1, 2267, the Enterprise was carrying Ambassador Robert Fox to Star Cluster NGC 321 with the mission of opening diplomatic relations with a civilization located on a little-known planet called MNR-7. It is believed that the Eminarians had the capacity for spaceflight, but barely ventured outward, as they were believed to be locked in a war with the neighboring planet called Vendikar. Upon arrival, Uhura opened the hailing frequencies, but received no response. The Eminarians did scan the Enterprise while it was in orbit, and they issued a stark warning for it to depart. Kirk ignored the warning and led a landing party to the surface, where they observed a clean, orderly, and well-constructed civilization. They were met by Eminarian representatives who led them to the High Council, where they learned that MNR-7 and Vendikar had been in a war for 500 years. Each year, 1 to 3 million people were killed, and that is why the Enterprise was in danger. Indeed, while they were speaking with the Eminarian leadership, a direct hit fusion bomb struck the city, although there appeared to be no explosion, no destruction, and no chaos. Spock determined that this is actually a computer war, in which by agreement, people are classified as casualties and die by voluntarily stepping into disintegrator machines in order to avoid mutually assured destruction. The alternative is an exchange of real weapons, which would cause the mass destruction of both societies. Ultimately, Kirk invades the High Council chamber and destroys the Eminarian supercomputer, which violates the agreement of the Vendikar. The only choices remaining for the warring parties are total destruction or negotiated peace. Ultimately, they choose peace and avoid further desecration of their populations. Yes, a happy ending to 500 years of war. A war conducted by machines causing the sterile and voluntary death of countless ordinary citizens. That is something to ponder as artificial intelligence begin to shape and control the battlefield of the future. With that, may you live long and prosper. Happy New Year.
Thank you. You got me back up, Barry? Thank you very much. Thank you. I know. Thank you so much. Colonel, thank you for sharing those updates on the AI. We sincerely appreciate your research and on the topic and providing us with better insight as what's down the road for our technology. Can I get a hoo-ha for the Colonel? Hoo-ha! Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Colonel. Okay, let's take a moment and reflect on our past year. Thanks largely to your support, our East Valley Red Friday Patriots program has grown from a mere 5 founders almost 7 years ago to more than 380 active participants today. You've been instrumental in contributing to our extraordinarily successful program, and for that support, we are most grateful. Now that we are underway with launching the new year of 2026, we want to share a few highlights of this past year's Red Friday activities and a few significant events that transpired, as you all will recall. Nancy Fessbender was named as an East Valley Red Friday Patriots co-coordinator on 20 January 2025. And she has been extraordinarily effective in scheduling a guest speakers for our program for last year. And Nancy is already lining up speakers for 2026. Believe me, this is not an easy task. It requires a lot of email correspondence, a lot of follow-up phone calls to deliver to a guest speaker, and Nancy has done a stellar job for us in managing this task. We'll all highlight more about our speaker program here in just a moment. We implemented a designated greeters program responsible for creating and distributing name badges upon members entering into the building. Pam Williams, Inez Hyman, Susan Kenyon, and Hank Nations volunteered for that program. But these ladies do a little bit more, far more, especially if it pertains to planning and prepping for special events requiring high dining hall decorations and special treats. We sponsored an East Valley Red Friday Patriots ice cream social at the LPG Ballroom on 22 January 2025 as a recruiting incentive. We had a record-breaking attendance of 193 Red Patriots on 28 February 2025, our 300th consecutive Friday assembly. We distributed custom-made East Valley Red Friday Patriots lapel pins to those attending the 300th meeting. Many of you present today are wearing those pins. We participated as an exhibitor at the Sunland Village East Veterans Association stand down on 24 March 2025. We joined the Apache Trail chapter, the Daughters of American Revolution, to present Afghan lap blankets to R.E.D members who were homebound or in wheelchairs. 5 R.E.D members were presented with these blankets. Those recipients were Ken Anderson at Las Palmas, Harold Bell at Las Palmas Grand, Dennis Knuckle at Las Palmas Grand, Jim Estes at Las Palmas Grand, and Keith Sampson at Las Palmas. We participated as an exhibitor at Congressman Andy Briggs' Drop Zone Veterans Fair on 3 May 2025 at the American Leadership Academy. A Memorial Day presentation and a missing man ceremony was delivered at Palmas del Sol East by Nick Nations, Jim Kenyon, and Hank Nations. The event was recorded by Larry Smith, our audio-visual team. We assisted the Apache Trail Daughters of America chapter for a care package drive for the 3666 Support Maintenance Company of the Arizona Army National Guard that deployed to Germany for 1 year to support the European Deterrence Initiative. We also assisted the Apache Trail Daughters of America chapter with their 100X Fund Drive. Many of our R.E.D members participated in online reviews of numerous businesses and products. We delivered a Veterans Day presentation and missing man ceremony to the Queen Valley Homeowners Association on November 10th. The presentation was delivered by Dick Nations, Jim Kenyon, Phil Todd, and Hank Nations. Larry Smith recorded the event. We had an East Valley R.E.D Patriots entry in the Apache Junction All-American Veterans Day Parade on 11 November 2025, with 20 of our R.E.D members participating in that parade. We hosted a special event sponsored by the Daughters of the American Revolution and the East Valley R.E.D Patriots on 14 November 2025, celebrating the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army, the U.S. Marine Corps, and the U.S. Navy. There were 151 Patriots in attendance on that day. R.E.D Friday volunteers contributed to the Wreaths Across America Fund Drive and the wreath-laying ceremonies on December 13th, which was Wreaths Across America Day. We launched our custom logo red shirt program, and thus far we've had more than 100 orders since implementing the program. Thanks to Barry McDonald and daughter Tess for their roles in getting the program underway. We had 34 guest speakers deliver information and other inspirational preparations on a variety of military-themed topics during the past year. That's a lot of folks committing to supporting our R.E.D Friday program. Looking at it in another way, 34 out of 52 weeks, or 65% of our assemblies in 2025 had guest speakers join us. You may recall a few of those speakers. Command Sergeant Major Rick Kreiberg, Captain Brian Udall, Major General Mick McGuire, Valerie Adams, Rick Hardina, Martin Toma, Lieutenant Colonel Allman, Colonel Pat Umpa, Jimmy Turan, Josh Stanwitz, Carrie Pardue, Colonel Wanda Wright, Tammy Pulowski, Dennis Gardner, Command Sergeant Major Sean Stoddard, and Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Gutierrez, just to name a few. We were fortunate to have numerous upgrades and enhancements to our audio-visual system to include new laptops, computers, small handheld camera or small handheld and headset mics, rewiring the dining hall with Internet Cat 6 cabling, and extender boxes to support our 4 TV monitors. 3 new video cameras and a host of other miscellaneous equipment to support our audiovisual system, thanks to those of you who helped offset these expenditures. So without question, 2025 has been one hell of a ride. We've grown numbered participation substantially, participated in numerous veterans programs and incentives throughout the East Valley, enjoyed numerous military-themed presentations by hosts of guest speakers, and upgrade our audiovisual system in an effort to enhance graphics and videos employed in our presentations and improve our recordings for our meetings that are posted to our YouTube site. Believe me when I say that our entire Red Friday support staff is grateful for the selfless support of your dedication and participation. We are grateful for your promotion of the mission of Red Friday, and we're grateful for your patriotism. This past year was truly one hell of a ride for the Red Friday group. So again, thanks to all of you for contributing to our success. Please give yourselves a hooah for your accomplishments last year. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you all very much. Thank you. Okay, to all of our guests, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for the song. I greatly appreciate it today, and we sincerely hope you'll return to share in our camaraderie and support our mission. Please know that you are always, always welcome at any Red Friday assembly. And as a final reminder, let us not overlook the importance of our Red Friday mission to keep our deplored warfighters in our thoughts and in our prayers, and to continue to demonstrate our support for these fine men and women. Have a wonderful weekend, folks. Thank you so much.